Hello students, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to study classification of different types of ovules based on the number of integuments, based on amount of nucellus, based on what is the relationship with the micropyle, chalazial and funicle. So first we are studying the classification based on the relationship of micropyle, chalaza with funicle and how it is oriented with respect to the funicle. If you recall your previous video, we have studied orthotropous ovule and we studied anatropous ovule in the first two videos. Please revise once again. In orthotropous ovule, which we say straight ovule, this is micropyle, this is chalaza and funicle. All are in one line. We say this is orthotropous ovule, and orthotropous ovule is the simplest type of ovule, primitive type of ovule, and it is also known as straight ovule. Generally, it is common in gymnosperms. It is common in gymnosperms, but few member of angiosperms also contain such type of ovule. Example, beetle, piper, polygonum. And please understand very important concept in our NCRT, entire description is given with respect to the polygonum type because they have studied polygonum type of ovule which contain embryo sac, everything studied on polygonum which is straight ovule. But theory will be written with respect to anatropous ovule because majority of the angiosperm contain anatropous ovule. Is it clear? Now, this is micropyle, this is chalaza, and this is funicle. So this is the condition in which we are finding micropyle and chalaza is in one line, and it is micropyle is close to the funicle. So this is known as inverted ovule. It is also known as recipienate ovule. It is most common type of ovule shown by the 80% of the angiosperm families, and we can say this is a typical ovule for angiosperms. Angle is 180-degree rotation is done. 180-degree rotation shown by the family like Malvaceae, your China rose example, Cucurbitaceae, Solanaceae, Compositae. Now, this is another type of ovule, micropyle, chalaza, and funicle. They are in one line and making a 90-degree angle with the funicle. So this is known as half ana because ana means 180 degree. Ortho means 0 degree. So this is half ana, hemi means half, 90-degree rotation. We say this is a horizontal ovule shown by the members of the family that is Ranunculus and Primulaceous. See next. In this case, next diagram, focus the diagram. See, this is micropyle and chalaza. Chalaza is not in the straight line with the micropyle and funicle is here. So the angle is rotated not properly at 180 degree, but it is not 90 degree also. So rotation is of 110 degree. This is the rotation of 110 degree. We say Campylotropous ovule, and it is shown by the members of the family Leguminosae, Cruciferae, and Capardiaceae. And still, if you see embryo sac, highlight that I'm just highlighting the diagram. Embryo sac is not this one. Embryo sac is not tilted. But in the next, if you see embryo sac has become horseshoe shape. Clear? So this is chalaza, this is micropyle, and this is funicle. So this is the one, if you see, angle should be proper straight, but still if you see it is not proper straight, what we will find, angle is of 160 degree. And it is made by the family of the Bituminous family, Papaver, Mirabilis jalapa, Alicima, lemma, poppy, and we find embryo sac is horseshoe shape. Please learn properly. Okay, beta. Circinotropous ovule in which it is rotated at 360 degrees. So it is actual straight, but it is surrounded by funicle all around. This is the funicle which is covering it, and it is not orthotropous, though it is coming back to the straight position, but it is rotated at 360 degree. Is it clear? It is at 360 degree. An entire body of ovule is surrounded by funicle. We say this is called ovule. And this is funicle point and this is micropyle. The micropyle is away from funicle. And This ovule is seen in the family that is Cactaceae family. So this is the way you have to learn the classification of ovule based on the relationship of micropyle chaliazal with funicle. Now, next classification based on the integument, how many integuments are there? Okay, based on the how many integuments, based on amount of nucellus and micropyle opening. For this, I will give you one learning tip. See here, you write biology student yourself, physics and chemistry, and you are studying math also. All four subjects you are studying. So this is bitagmic condition is seen in polypetalate and monocot, which is having crassinucleate. So if you learn this, I think so two things you can learn: amount of nucellus and type of integuments, how many are there. So if you see here, bitagmic condition is shown by polypetalate and it is shown by monocot. Let us see the theory. Yes, bitagmic condition is shown by polypetalate and it is shown by monocot. And they are having crassinucleate amount, means nucellus is sufficient. So yes, crassinucleate means nucellus is sufficient in monocot and polypetalate. Learned beta? Now how to learn about the opposite one? So opposite of bitagmic, right? Monotagmic. Means I should not say monotagmic, I should say unitagmic, means only one integument. So we will write opposite of bitagmic condition means unitagmic. First of all, clear? Unitagmic. Opposite of polypetal means petals were not free. Now what they are fused. So we'll write gamopetalae. Here crassinucleate means amount of nucellus is more. Amount of nucellus less means tiny nucellate. And gymnosperm. So gymnosperms are the one which are having unitagmic condition. So you can see, yes, unitagmic condition is shown by gymnosperms and gamopetalae, and amount of nucellus is less in gymnosperms and gamopetalae. So this area, I hope so it might be helpful for you. Learning tips already I've given you. Learn by PCM. Okay, beta, learn by PCM. It will be useful for you. Now, sometimes integument is absent. So generally, parasitic plants don't have integument. We say atagmic ovule. When integument is absent, we say atagmic ovule. Parasitic plant is Centellum, Loranthus, all this thing. Tritagmic, only one exception you have to learn for tritagmic condition. The tritagmic condition is seen in Asphodelus. So classification based on the number of integument might be easy for you. Clear? I'll just rub it so that it becomes easy for you to see. Now, amount of nucellus. If you recall in the previous video, we have studied this is this orthotropous ovule, clear? With this condition. And a nucellus will bear female gametophyte, means one cell of the nucellus will become as a megaspore mother cell, which undergo meiosis to form a functional megaspore, and one functional megaspore will give rise to female gametophyte. We'll be studying further. Let me draw, this is the female gametophyte. So this is the female gametophyte, which is 7-celled and 8 nucleus. Now, part of nucellus, which is present below this nucellus, is known as hypostase. It is known as hypostase. Part of nucellus above is known as epistase. So epistase, see, come here theory. Epistase means part of nucellus above embryo sac is lignified. Hypostase means part of nucellus below embryo sac is lignified to keep the embryo sac in its position. Is it clear? To keep the embryo sac in its position. Now, who is making the opening? See the diagram carefully. This is your integument. Okay, so micropyle opening is made by the inner integument. If you see, this opening is made by inner integument. Let me rub it so that it becomes again clear for you. So this was there. So this integument is made by inner integument. So this is known as endostome. If micropyle opening is made by inner integument, we will say endostome. Now see another diagram. Just imagine this only for your learning. I'm drawing this diagram. So this is made by outer integument. Outer integument is making the opening. So if it is made by outer integument, you will say exostome. So depending upon which integument is making the micropyle outer integument or inner integument. Is it clear? Outer integument, exostome, inner integument, endostome. So I hope so this video in which we studied classification of ovule based on the integument, based on the nucellus, based on the orientation might be easy for you. Now see next. Nucellus is what? It is actual morphology is equal to the megasporangia proper because it is present in the megasporangia, means it is present in the ovule. What is another name of ovule? Another name of ovule is megasporangia. Embryo sac is becoming horseshoe shape. Please see the theory once again. Let us see the diagram. It is horseshoe shape in which one beta? Check Amphitropus. Clear? So answer will be Amphitropus. What is the direction of ovule in Anatropus? Anatropus means it is coming down. So we will say it is downward. So I hope so this video, all the concept might be easy for you with respect to the types of ovule. Thanks for watching.